Okay, so we are on to round number 25, and round number 25 we are using Armalot, or I am anyway, because I've got stacks of it. So we're going to work into our chain 2 corner space from our previous round. We're going to do a standing single crochet and then yarn over times 3 puff. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do that one more time. Right, so we've got 2 puffs and a corner chain 1. We're going to yarn over and work a double crochet front post over our next 3 double crochets together from our previous corner. Then we're going to work a treble front post over our next 3 double crochets, but down. So 2 rows down, all right? So we're going to work that treble front post. Now we're going to yarn over and we're going to work into the space before our next double crochet, and we're going to work a double crochet and then another double crochet after we've skipped our first double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the next 2 spaces. Then we're going to work a yarn over times 3 puff and a double crochet into the next 2 spaces. Puff into our next space, so we're working between those double crochets, and 1 double crochet into the next 2 spaces. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Whoops, don't do that. Right, so we're going to have 7, I think it's 7 double crochets and 3 puffs. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're doing our 7th double crochet into the next space. So it's going to look like that. Okay, it's a bit difficult to see because, you know, everything's the same color, but we have 2 puffs and a chain 1, double crochet front post, treble crochet front post, 2 double crochets, puff, 2 double crochets, puff, 2 double crochets, puff, 2 double crochets. Now, in our next section, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Alright, so here we are. Here's our next double crochet. Then we have a front post stitch and then another double crochet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work a double crochet into the spaces left and right, each side, okay, either side of our front post stitch, and we're going to work those stitches together. So it's basically 2 double crochets together like that. We're not going to close the stitch with a chain 1 like that, okay? We're going to kind of leave it open-ended. Is that the right word? Open-ended. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're working into the spaces either side of that double crochet that we worked over the single crochet front post that we worked over our puff. Okay, like that. So I'm not even going to say skip the next stitch because it goes without saying that you're going to be skipping the next stitch. So we're just going to do that like that. Okay, so we're working those 2 double crochets together like that. Right, so I'm just going to do this side A with you, and then the center panel, and then everything after that, well, you can just mirror side A and repeat the corners and so on and so forth. You know, pretty simple. Okay, so we're just working those. So we should have 16 2 times double crochets together. Like that. Okay. we're getting to, oopsie, getting to the end, and the next, the last one, like that. Okay, so we should have 16 2 double crochets together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. And now we are going to work, so we're going to skip, no, we're not going to skip anything. We're actually going to work a double crochet front post around those 2 double crochets that we made in that section over there, the 2 double crochets that we made together. Remember, we did 2 double crochets together, and then we did 2 double crochets together, 2 double crochets together, those kind of long stitches. We're just going to work a double crochet front post over the first one. Now we're going to work 2 single crochets into the space between our 3 popcorns. Then we're going to work a single crochet front post over the next 2 double crochets together. Then we're going to work 2 single crochets into that space, so it's not a chain one or anything, it's just a joining space, right? And then a single crochet front post, right? 2 single crochets, skip the next popcorn, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet front post over our 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets. So, you know, I'm sorry if I maybe sound a little bit condescending when I'm explaining what I'm doing, but I'm sort of, you know, I'm taking it for granted that the intermediate and advanced crocheters would be able to work their way around these patterns. You know, I'm not saying they're difficult or anything like that, because they're not, if you take it, you know, just bit by bit. But I am aware that there are lots of beginners who take on the pattern, these patterns, the ones that I make, because I have the videos, you know, and so beginner crocheters can definitely do all of these patterns, all my patterns, where I have the videos, because, you know, if you follow the videos, you can't really go wrong. So the videos and the written pattern really do work together. There's some people who just tell me they never watch the videos, and I think, shame, they're missing out on all my jokes. Okay, they're missing out on my jokes and my weather updates from Cape Town, South Africa. So anyway, the video and the written pattern work hand in hand. If the written pattern doesn't make sense, refer to the video. If the video doesn't make sense, refer to the written pattern. And if neither makes sense, then refer to our workshop group. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so as I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted by Roxy barking at the postman. The same postman that we have had for the last forever years, and that she has known for the last 5 years of her life, and she still barks at him. Okay, so as I was saying, if the written pattern and the video fail you, please join our Facebook workshop group, and there are plenty of lovely members in the group, as well as admins Nolene and Sandra, who will be more than happy to help you. Okay, so now we've done our double crochet front post, and I'm going to stop there. So it's the same as the double crochet front post on this side, so you're just going to mirror everything on that side. You're now going to do on this side, you're going to mirror that all the way, including your corners, and down the other side. And when you come up to your finishing off this round number 25, you're just going to slip stitch into the top of your puff and fasten off. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else to say really, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 26. Okie dokie, so we are on to round number 26, and round number 26, well, you can see what I've done there. It's an independent round, and we're going to be working into our chain 1 spaces from round number 24. So let's just show you this side. Right, those spaces over there that we made. I can't remember if it was a chain 1 or a chain 2. I'll go back and check. Well, into those chain spaces, alright, we're going to be working this independent round. And now, let's, with no further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So we're going to be doing exactly what we did on these corners over here, alright? We're going to be using exactly the same colors as well. Okay, so our first color, color A or color 1, is our Gouda, alright? And now we have 9 chain 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, or however many chains. I think it's chain. I can't remember if I said it was a chain 1 or chain 2. It doesn't matter, okay? It's still a chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 chain spaces, and we're going to work into the 5th one. So the 5th one will be the center one, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So what we're going to do is exactly what we did, you know, so don't watch this video if you remember how to do these. So although you might want to watch the video to see where we are going to attach. So we're going to chain 3 because we're making a double crochet, and then we're going to we're just going to attach it into the next chain space to the right, and then we're going to work another 5 double crochets. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, so we must have 6 including our beginning. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're going to attach the 6th or number 6 double crochet into the next chain space to the left. Okay, so a couple of days ago over the weekend I wasn't feeling so well, so a couple of days ago was not the weekend because it's already Friday. A couple of days ago was Wednesday. So what I should say is last weekend I wasn't feeling so well. That's a bit of a stomach bug, and I got around to watching some of Esther's videos. Esther Dijkstra, who does the videos for Shepherd's Yarns. And you know, you just really, that woman is an absolute bastion of calm, and not like me, totally disorganized, and she's just amazing. When I grow up, I want to make videos like Esther. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, as we did before, we're going to work a popcorn, but we're going to work it before our first chain 3, which is equal to 1 double crochet. So you know, we're working it before because we want to fit 7 of these popcorns into that space. We're not going to attach the popcorns, we're just going to make them freestanding. Right, so 3, 4, 5, and we're going to work a popcorn between each of, okay, so try and work into that back loop, not the back strand but the back loop, like that. Right, and we're not going to work a chain 1 or anything like that. We're just going to immediately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, well, it would be 5. I have to tell you, it is another sweltering day. It's in fact the 1st of March today, so happy March! And I know many of you are already experiencing some spring days. Alright, which is great if you've had lots of snow and cold. But our weather has not cooled down. It still feels like high summer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is great for people who like water sports, and you know, Cape Town people are very into their water things, you know, surfing and kite surfing and all those other watery things that crazy people like to do. I'm definitely not a water person or an ocean person. I like to look at it, but I don't want to go in it because there are all kinds of bitey things. Things will just come and bite you. For me, swimming in the ocean is pretty much like taking a stroll through the Kruger National Park, which is full of lions and snakes and things that bite you. Okay. So I always say to people, well, you wouldn't walk through the Kruger National Park now, would you? Unless you had some sort of protection. So why are you swimming in the Indian Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean? Because it's the same thing. There's all sorts of things, stingy and bitey things. Okay, yeah, I'm very boring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now the last one, the final one, you're just going to squeeze it into that space after your last double crochet, to that weird little space there. So 3, 4, 5. Well, not that long ago, my husband and I went on a really amazing trip, and you know, which was part of kind of a blog serial when I was doing Karoo Vintage, which I never really finished properly. And the one morning we actually went for a dip in the Breda River, and as we went I sort of slid off the rocks on the side, and I was, you know, just sort of belly standing in the water, you know, just kind of, I had a bikini bottom on and bikini top, and these two tiny little fish swam right up to me. I think they were just wondering what this sort of white thing was in the water, my stomach, which never sees the light of day. And they bit me. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, I got out the water so fast. They were tiny little fish, maybe not even the size of my thumb. They were like half the size of my thumb, and I had two tiny little red marks on my stomach. I was very offended. So I'm not going to be swimming in rivers again either. And of course my husband was swimming around like a total water baby. He loves the water, and he swims in the ocean. He doesn't care about sharks. Okay, so you saw while I was yabbering, you saw what I was doing there. Okay, let me tell you, Esther doesn't do this. She just sticks to the work. Alright, so chain 3 equal to 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet together. So we're working 2 double crochets. We're working 2 times 2 double crochets into the top of every popcorn. But this first one we're going to attach into our next chain 1 to the right. Okay, like that. And then we immediately going to work, so we're not going to work chain 1 or anything like that. It's a bit awkward. We're just going to work another. You can try and work over the tail without incorporating it into your stitch. Okay, if the yarn's a bit squeaky, it's simply because it is very hot. Alright, so we've got our two times, well, yes, we have our 2 times 2 double crochets worked into the top of our first popcorn, and then we're going to do that again. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, now I know what I did with the other one. I didn't close it off properly. That's why it looks weird. Okay. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to carry on. Right, so, and then I'm working over the tail, that beginning tail as I go along. It's just one less tail to work in. 1 and 2. And you know, no matter how hot it is, I'll still drink coffee. Isn't that weird? I don't drink, you know, cool drinks, sodas, Coke. I don't think I've ever had a Coca-Cola. I had a sip of a Coca-Cola once. And I think I had a sip of a grape tizer once. It's just not my thing. I'll rather drink water or drink coffee. Imagine that. I've actually never in my entire life had a Coca-Cola, like a glass of Coca-Cola or a bottle of Coca-Cola. Never. Maybe I should start. Okay. Maybe I should start developing some bad habits in my old age. I'm old enough now. Oh, gosh. Okay. And the last one, I'm kind of just working over all those little tails at the back. Really, you should turn your work, you know, maybe a bit sideways when you're doing that. It's a bit easier. Okay, now you're just going to attach that second 2 double crochet together into the next, chain 1 space to your left. Right, and you can just pull that through, or you know, fasten off any way that you want to. Just make sure that it's really securely, you know, I just do like double things here because I don't want it to come adrift. Okay, like that. Okay, so now just make sure everything is in order. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Right. Okay, so we've got 6 double crochets, we've got 7 popcorns, and we've got 14 2 double crochets together. Okay, now the next part, a color we're going to, so this color is Gouda, this color is Amstelveen, yes, this color is Goes, this color is Den Bosch. I think I'm starting to get a hang of my Sherpa's colors. Now we're going to work 2 puffs between our 2 times 2 double crochets. So we're not going to join this to anything. So we're just going to start with a standing single crochet and then yarn over times 3. Okay, just like that. 1, 2, 3. Right, and then again 1, 2, 3. So we're not going to hold on a second. We are just going to do a chain 1 there. Now that chain 1 is optional, alright? If you feel that there isn't enough stretch in your yarn, you can do that chain 1 or even a chain 2. I'm doing a chain 1 because we are going around a corner, so I don't want my puff round here to sort of bunch up. Everything must lie nice and flat at the end of this. Right. 1, 2, 3. Right. If you feel that you don't need that chain 1, you can actually leave that chain 1 out. It's optional. Right. So when I was talking about, turning your work a bit sideways. Right, chain 1. So I'm doing this whole thing with you just so you can 1, 2, 3. Right. 1, 2, 3. So as I was saying, we're doing yarn over times 3, chain 1 to close. And in my patterns I will write yarn over times 3, chain 1, but a lot of ladies asked me what that chain 1 was, and then I said, well, it's the chain 1 to close. So now I just write it as yarn over times 3, chain 1 to close. But then again, I suppose for people who are intermediate crocheters or advanced beginners, it's taken for granted that it's yarn over times 3, and to make a puff you have to close it. Right, so now, so we're just going to fasten off right there. So I'm just going to do kind of a double slip stitch close there, just so I know it's closed, properly closed, and it's not going to wander off somewhere. So now we have all these tails. Sorry about the tails, but you have to suffer to be beautiful. As my gran always used to say, stop complaining, when she was brushing my hair. When I was a little child, I had very fine, very fine, very difficult blonde hair. And not that I'm blonde now, but I was when I was a baby. And I remember my grandmother forever fussing over my hair, and I remember her saying, you have to suffer to be beautiful. Oh my gosh, I was only 5. Alright, so now we're going to do exactly what we did with our corner. We're going to work, not over there, I beg your pardon. We're going to work over our 2 double crochets together, like so. And we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's advisable to just pull your little tail to the back. Now we're going to attach, this chain 4 into our next chain space, like so. Alright, and that counts as 1 treble front post. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to work a rather awkward, so you might want to just put that tail behind for your puff. We're going to yarn over and we're going to work a half double crochet front post. Now try and get it as close to your beginning chain 4s as you can. Okay, so just keep up the tension. Do that again. Right, so I'm going to yarn over. Okay, pull that nice and tight and pull through. Alright, like that. I'm going to actually close that off. Then we're going to work 1, 2, 3 single crochets, yarn over, a double crochet front post. Then we're going to yarn over twice, and we're going to work as we did before when we did the other section with these independent sort of corner little number going on. We did 2 trebles together over those 2 times 2 double crochets together. Okay, then we do a half double crochet front post over our puff. We're going to 3 single crochet between, and then half double crochet front post over the next puff. Then we're going to work 2 trebles together. We're going to yarn over and work a double crochet front post, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, double crochet front post, yarn over twice, 2 double crochet front posts, double crochet front post. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and you're just going to carry on. So I'll kind of see you when we get over here. Okay, so you just carry on like that, and then I'll meet you just over here. Okay, what I did want to mention was, you might have noticed that I'm doing, when I do a half double crochet front post, I'm closing it off like that. Alright, and that gives you a bit more of a scalloped edge. Alright, because it's like doing, it's creating a bit more space. If you omit that closing chain 1 like that, you get a slightly flatter finish. So you don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it, alright? And then, so the way that I do the last half double crochet is I grab onto this working, onto the, well, I was going to call it a strand, onto the tail of my previous color, the Rnds. Okay, so you just grab onto that, and you work it almost like it was a continuing as if the pattern was continuing, and this was, you know, like the next stitch or something you were going into. If that makes sense. Okay, and then what you're going to do is yarn over twice, and you're going to work over the top of your next 2 double crochets together, and you're going to attach it into the next chain 1 to your left, like so. Okay, like that. Okay, so sorry, I've got my mind now on that, what I want to do, show you. So you just pull that through like so. Right, so what I meant was, you get, when you close off each of your front post stitches, you get more of a scalloped effect. And I'll show you what happens when, where's the other one? I can show you the other one. Oh, I can't show you the other one because I've already worked. I've already worked around it, okay? But the other one would be flatter. It doesn't really matter, it really is just me being pedantic. Okay? So you don't have to do it, you can just do it, you know, however you want to. Right, now, it's just like a little weirdness. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to carry on with the next color. And we're going to work a double crochet front post around our chain 4. So obviously we're going to chain 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to slip stitch. This is the next chain, like that, but we're actually going to slip stitch into the top of that little stitch that you see there, like that. Alright, then we're going to yarn over and we're going to work a double crochet front post. Now the first, it's a little bit finicky. We're going to work a double crochet front post around our first, where is it, there we go, half double crochet front post, and we're going to work a double crochet around our next 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and the way to do it is just to insert your hook and let it pull up that little stitch. Yarn over. Alright, because those little single crochets are actually quite difficult to front post over. No, we're not going to work a chain 1. Then we're going to skip. We're going to skip our next stitch, which are those 2 trebles together, and we're going to double crochet front post over the next 5 stitches. So the next 5 stitches are the half double crochet front post, the next 3 single crochets, and the half double crochet front post. And then we're going to skip the next space, not do a chain 1. Okay, we're going to skip. Okay, we're not going to work over that, and we're just going to work again. 1, 1. Oh, these little stitches. You have to hunt for them sometimes. The little, where am I? 1. Goodness me, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and of course it's all the same colours, so it's equally, and my eyes are not good at all. Okay, like that. Alright, yarn over, skip that, the 2 trebles together, and double crochet. Go hunting for our little single crochet. Alright, so I don't really have to do the rest with you, but you get the gist of it. So you're going to be working a double crochet front posts over those 5 stitches. Right, so there'll be sections of 5 stitches. Alright, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 5s are 45. 45? Yes. Do I know my 7 times table or my 5 times table? 7 5s. What are 7 5s? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, okay. 35. So you should have 35 double crochet front posts. Alright. So you see, I just proved to you that I can't do maths. I still count on my fingers. Okay, so when you get to your last treble front post over here, you're just going to work a double crochet front post, alright, over that last treble front post, and then you're going to attach it into that stitch, kind of like directly after your, where the chain starts, like that. You're just going to attach it securely into that space there. Okay, so I shall see you, and then of course you're going to repeat this in the next 3 spaces. I mean, I've already done one. This is my second one, and then I'll be doing the next 2, and That is round number 26, indie round number 26. You're using 5 colors, and well, 6, we've got 5 colors, but it's sort of 6 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so see you at the end of round number 26 and the beginning of round number 27. Okie dokie, so we are on to round number 27, and round number 27 I'm going to use the same color, Armelon, that we used in our round number 25. So we're going to begin in any of the chain 2 corner spaces between our previous puffs from round number 25. We're going to chain 3 and work 2 double crochets together like that. Right, and then just close it. So imagine that chain 3 is a double crochet. Then we're going to do another 2 double crochets together, close it with a chain 1 and chain 1, 1, 2. So basically it's 4 times 2 double crochets together and 1 chain 1 corner space. Right, so it's going to look like that. And now you're going to work 1 double crochet front post over the next 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and our next stitch is going to go over our 2 double crochets together from round number 25. Okay, so that's 14 double crochet front posts. I'm not going to say which stitches you've done them over, just 14 stitches. So it will be over double crochets, double crochet front posts, and those 3 puffs. Right, so now you'll have 14 double crochet front posts. Then you're going to work a double crochet into the next space before you get to your 2 double crochets together, and then you're going to work 1 double crochet front post over your 2 double crochets together, then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet front post, 1 double crochet in between, 1 double crochet front post. Right, 1 double crochet in between, 1 double crochet front post, 1 double crochet front post. I'm just going to go all the way. 1 double crochet front post. So you're working double crochet front posts over your 2 double crochets together. Alright, so you should have 15 double crochet front posts and 15 double crochets. Alright, so when you've got that, then you can stop. Alright, so, I didn't give you a weather update. It is very humid and it rained all morning, but the humidity is pretty high and it is pretty hot. So not what I would call ideal crochet weather. You can kind of feel the sun shining through, you know, just above the clouds. You can really feel the heat picking up and the humidity rising. Anyway, it gets like this before we start going into autumn. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this and then I'm going to count the stitches. Right, and then we're going to work that double crochet crochet front post. Right, so we're just going to check, because this was our last double crochet front post that we did of the 14. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there should be 16 double crochet front posts worked over 2 double crochets together. Okay, alright, so the reason I stopped here and made this 14 double crochet front posts is so that we could do that, you know, that the next stitch sort of in the next section would be that double crochet. So we should have 15 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've got 15 double crochets. Now what we're going to do is our last chain space, or should I say our first chain space. I'm thinking from left to right, but actually we work from right to left. So our chain space, I'm just trying to think of how to explain this. Alright, so our chain space from round number 25, I think that was round number 25, let me just check. Round number 25, nope, it was round number 20, round number 24, right? Yes. Alright, so our 9 chain 1 spaces from round number 24, and where we attached that chain 4 from the last round of that indie round. Okay, it's so much easier to just show you, but I feel I need to say where. We're going to work a single crochet. So you're going to have 3 stitches kind of worked into that space over there. Okay, we've got kind of the beginning of the chain 1, we've got the end of that chain 4, and now we have a single crochet over that same space. Alright, and then immediately you're going to work over that first chain 4 a single crochet front post, and we're going to work a single crochet front post over the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5. So remember we had sets of 5, right? So we're working single crochet front posts over those sets of 5. Then you're just going to work a long single crochet. So in the pattern I wrote long single crochet. So you're not going to yarn over or anything. You're just going to go into that space between our 2 treble front posts to get that we work together. Just going to go like that and just pull up a loop and close. Right? And then immediately single crochet front post 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. And back into that space and close. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right, single crochet, long single crochet, and close, and 1. It's like a dance, isn't it? It's like if you ever did ballet. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and long single crochet. Alright, so you're just going to go around like that. Alright, so you're just going to work all the way around, all the way around. You're going to carry on, and then of course when you get to this, so you're going to work that last single crochet front post. So remember, when you're coming down this side, you're going to work 5 single crochet front posts, and then you're going to work that last single crochet front post over that treble, and then you're going to single crochet into that whole joining space over there where we have the end of our chain 1 as we go into the next stitches, and you also have that treble, and you're going to work a single crochet, and then you're going to repeat up here everything that you did down there, side A. just going to repeat everything, including the corners, and then work your way all the way around. So it's very, very simple. And when you come up on the sort of finishing line, as you come up, finishing off your round, you're just going to slip stitch into the top of your first 2 double crochets together. Alright, and then fasten off and wait for me there. So that'll be the end of round number 27, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 28. Okay, see you there. Okie dokie, so we are on to round number 28, and round number 28 is an independent round. We're actually going to carry on with our section over here, our previous independent round. Okay, so now let's just jump straight in. The color I'm using is Kuforden. Alright, so I've actually changed, so this is a new color, and what we're going to do is we're going to work into the very first chain 1 space from round number 24. Remember, we had 9 chain 1s, and we've kind of worked into all of those chain 1s. You know, we've made them earn their rent in this blanket, and now we're going to work a popcorn. Alright, so we're going to chain 3 because we're working 5 double crochets. Right, so before we do that, we can just move this little tail to the back like that. Okay, and now we're going to work our 5, well actually our 4 our 4 double crochets, but of course the chain 3 counts as double crochet number 5. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're just going to go into that back loop of the top of our chain 3 and close with the chain 1. Right, so I'm just going to pull. So there we have 1 popcorn. Now we're going to be working 5 double crochet front posts over our round number 6 from our indie round number 26. Okay, so we're going to skip that chain 4, and we're just going to work double crochet front post 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and 5. Right, a little bit difficult when you're using a size 4 hook, you know, because the top is quite thick, so it's not that easy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work another popcorn, but this time you're working between these 2 strands from that long single crochet. Okay, so you're going to go in to that space and make sure you come out the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. Yarn over, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always a little bit challenging to get into that first stitch, but you know, you can just move things around a little bit to get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so 5 double crochet front post, yarn over, and again we're working into that space between our long single crochet strands. 3, 4, 5. Okay, just make sure you're going into the back as well, into the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Always have to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Sometimes it looks like 4, even when I'm counting. Okay, so that's basically what you're going to be doing all the way around, like that. Okay, so you should have 7 popcorns. Your last popcorn will be worked into that last, so number 9, chain 1 space from round number 24. Okay, so you'll do your last, make your last popcorn into that space, and then fasten off. Right, so you should have 7 then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, and then you should have 35 double crochet front posts. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, and when you get to the last popcorn, excuse me, obviously you're just going to fasten off. Okay, and then we'll go on to the next section. So there are 5. Well, hang on a second, I'll actually show you what it's going to look like. Oopsie. I have stitch markers banging around. So basically that's what we're going to be doing. Alright, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds here. Alright, in this sorry, I was losing my voice this morning. Okay, so it's going to look, that's what we're aiming for. Alright, so don't be discouraged. Oh, sorry about the rude interruption, but my camera ran out of memory, so it kind of stopped somewhere over there. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so that is round number 28, and that is our part number 1. Okay, so now we're going to go on to part number 2. And part number 2, the color I'm going to be using is Elfin, like that. So what we're going to be doing here is we just, let's go nice easy round, we're going to be working 1 double crochet front post over our 35 double crochet front posts. Okay, so nice and easy. Alright, so we're just going to start by working a chain 3 front post over our first double crochet front post, and then we're going to simply do double crochet front posts over our double crochet front posts. So we should have 5. If you have more than 5, then you're in trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're going to chain 1, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and we're just going to continue like that. Okay, so I don't think I need to do anything else, and when you get to your last double crochet front post, you're just going to fasten off. Okay, you don't have to attach it into anything, you're just going to carry on like that. Okay, so you're just going to go all the way around and work your last 5 double crochet front posts and fasten off, and that's where I'll see you. Okay, so I'll just show you a quick close-up view so you know exactly where to go. Okay, so see you on the other side. Okay, and that is that part finished. All right, so now we are going to go on to our next color, which is, well, let me first just do a stitch count quickly. So it's 35 double crochet front posts, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain ones, okay, plus 6 chain ones. And now the color that we're going to go on to is, just trying to find it, there we go. This is about all I've got left of my Amstel vein, so I'm going to use it where I can. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip our first 2 double crochet. Oh no, we're not. Oh no, yes we are, but what we're going to do first is we're going to work into the top of our popcorn like that. Then we're going to skip our first 2 double crochets. So we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, right? Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to skip our first 2 double crochet front posts. We're going to work a puff, yarn over times 3 or yarn over times 4, whichever you prefer. I prefer the little ones. Maybe I should do that again. Right, so sometimes you end up pulling up an extra loop. 1, 2, 3. Right. No. Managed to get a strand there. There we go. And again. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Okay. And then we're going to single crochet into the top of our next puff. Popcorn. Chain 2 and repeat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now you're just going to continue that sequence, what we've just done. Alright, chain 2, single crochet into your next popcorn over your chain 1, like that. Okay, pretty simple, right? So I shall see you at the end, and you're just going to finish off by working a single crochet into your last popcorn and then fasten off. You're probably wondering why I'm so rushed. Well, in fact, I heard a van coming down our road and I'm waiting for a package. So I'm just going to show this again to you, okay, a bit more slowly. Alright, so single crochet into your next popcorn and work over your chain 1, chain 2, and then our puffs. Okay, so we're skipping 2 double crochets, skip the next double crochet, chain 2, skip the next 2 double crochets, single crochet into our popcorn and over our chain 1, chain 2. Okay, so alright, so it's going to look like that. Right, I hope you can see, because I've closed the blinds, you know, seeing as I am in a very sunny situation right now. So as you can see, if I open the blinds, sort of sunspots there, that's maybe a little bit better as the sun is moving over. Right, so you're just going to carry on like that, and then, as I said before I rushed off to see if it was my parcel arriving, you're just going to work a single crochet into the top of the last popcorn and fasten off. Okay, so I shall see you. So this is number 3. No, number 4. Hey, 1, 2. No, number 3. I'm knew it was number 3. I'm always second guessing myself. So this is number 3 of our indie round, okay? And the color that we're using is Amstelveen. So I shall see you at the end of this part number 3, and I'll see you at part number 4. So it's going to look like that, okay? And of course, you know, you're going to have your, whoops, you're going to have your tails at the back, but I know people complain about tails and go, oh, these tails to sew in, but the way I see it is I try and challenge myself every time. Well, first of all, I do like sewing. I like hand sewing. So I have a bit of an advantage there, is that I like hand sewing and embroidery and making things by hand. So when it comes around to sewing in the tails, working in tails, you know, sometimes I'll leave them until I have quite a lot of tails. Then I'll go and sit in the lounge and put on my favorite movie and just, you know, work in my tails, just quietly work in my tails. There's something very meditative. Okay. There's something very calming about working in the tails, you know, if you don't resist. You know what they say, the more you resist something, the more unpleasant it is. So just give in to the tails, even though you hate it. Okay, so that is the end of our part number 3. And now we're going to go on to part number 4, and then there's going to be a part number 5. Okay, so this is the first. Now you can use 2 different colors, but for the next 2 parts, this one and the next one, number 4 and number 5, I'm going to be using the Barneveld. I'm just using the same color. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you are going to double crochet front post over those 2 skipped double crochet front posts from our part number 3, all right, or part number 2. Okay, 1, 2. Well, anyway, you're having a look at what I'm doing, so it's easy enough to know which ones I mean. Okay. Alright, so we're going to work a chain 3 front post and a double crochet front post. Then we're going to work, so we're working in front of those chain 2s from our previous round. So we're going to work a double crochet front post over our next puff. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets into the space between our puffs. Then we're going to work a double crochet front post over the next puff, yarn over, double crochet front post over our next 2 skipped double crochet front posts from our part number 2. Then we're going to chain 1, 2, and now we're going to go all the way back to our little strand. Remember that little long single crochet strand that we worked our popcorns into? Well, we're actually going to use that. You know, I think every stitch in a design has to pay rent to be in the design. Yes, I'm very hard that way. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2. You can chain 3, you know, if, as I've said before, if your tension is very tight. Mine is quite loose. So if your tension is very tight and the yarn you're using doesn't have much of a give, then just chain 3. Okay, so 2 double crochets over our next 2 double crochet front posts. Sorry, so 2 double crochet front posts over our next 2 double crochet front posts from part number 2, and then 2 double crochets into that space between our puffs, double crochet front post over the puff, and double crochet front post over our next 2 double crochet front posts, chain 2 or 3. Alright, if you feel it's a bit too much of a stretch to go all the way down there, single crochet around those 2 strands, chain 2, yarn over, and continue. 2 double crochet front posts, 2 double crochet front posts. Okay, double crochet front post over the puff. And sorry, I'm sighing. The only reason I'm sighing is because it's so flippin' hot. And I'm sighing because it's already the 6th of March and we can see no end to this blistering heat, and on top of it the humidity. Down to humidity. Boo to humidity. I don't mind the heat. I really don't mind the heat, but the humidity is what does me in. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so I'm going to stop in a second just so I can sort of show you what it looks like, because at the moment it looks all very sort of scrunched up. Okay, and then 2 double crochets. I'm going to stop in a minute. I'll just do this double crochet front post. Okay, like that. Okay, so it looks all very squashed up, but when you stretch it out, you're going to have that. Okay, so I'm going to just move those to the back. Alright, so, as I was saying, your next part, you can use a different color, something that you prefer. The only problem is that you might, because you don't want to change the integrity of the shape. So the next part we're going to be working 2 double crochet front posts over these 2 double crochets. Okay, so now if you use another color, you're actually going to break that line somewhat. Alright, so if you do that, then you might want to make 2 double crochet back posts if you're using a different color around your 2 double crochets, and you're going to have the 2 strands, or you could possibly work into the back loop, or even better still, the back loops. Remember the back loops? Where did I have so many back loops? I think it was a Munzie. It was like back loops for everything, people. Okay, so you could work, instead of working 2 double crochet front posts, you could work 2 double crochets into those back loops. Okay, like that. Those are just some suggestions, alright? But seeing as I'm carrying on with the same color, I'm not worried about that. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so we basically begin with the chain 3 front post, double crochet front post, double crochet front post over the puff, 2 double crochets into the space in between, double crochet front post over the puff, 2 double crochet front post, chain 2, single crochet around that strand. Alright, the one that we worked our popcorn into. There is the front of it. Okay, now you're going to use the back of it. Alright, chain 2 and continue. Blah de blah de blah. Go all the way around, and you'll complete this section with a double crochet front post over your last double crochet front post and fasten off. Alright, so I shall see you at the end of this part, which is part number 4. Color that I'm using is Barnefeld. Alright, so see you in a minute. Okay, so now we are on the final part of our indie round, and as I was saying, we're going to be using the same color, but you might not be. So now we are going to begin in our first chain 2 space. Alright, from our round number 3, our part number 3. Alright, and we're going to work 5 double crochets. So we're going to start with chain 3, then we're going to work double crochet, another 4 double crochets, 2, 3 and 4. So we have 5 double crochets in all. Right, so we're just going to pull that and just pull those little tails to the back, like so. Okay, so we're going to begin with our 5 double crochets. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to work double crochet front post over our 2 double crochet front posts. Our 2 double crochets, not double crochet front posts. Then into our next chain 2 we're going to work 4 double crochets. So we're actually only going to work 5 double crochets into the first and the last chain 2s. Right, like so. Okay, so I'm using the same color, and then we're going to work a single crochet front post again over those chain 2s that we worked in our previous part. Okay, and then we're not going to do that. I'm getting carried away here. I think I'm a bit distracted today again because I'm listening out for my parcel to arrive. I've ordered some very yummy yarn from a local designer who does hand-dyed indie yarn, and I don't know if I'll ever get around to using it, but the colors are so beautiful. I just had to order quite a bit of it. So now I'm excited, and every car that goes past, and because I know it's coming via courier, but I don't know if it's going to come via a motorbike courier or a scooter courier or a van or a car. Okay, so we're working 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure I'm doing 4. So we're working 4 double crochets into our chain 2s from our previous part. We're working that single crochet over, not the chain 2s from the previous part, the previous to this one, but to our part number 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let me just concentrate. And then we're working 2 double crochets over our double crochets. If I keep on calling them double crochet front posts, we're working 2 double crochet front posts over our 2 double crochets. Yarn over. We're working into our part number 3. 1, and we're working 4 double crochets. Alright, so I just want to get this right before I send you on your way. Right, and again we're just working that single crochet over those 2 chains, 2 times 2 chains from our previous round, our previous part of the same color, and then we're working our 4 double crochets into our part 3. Okay, and double crochet front post over our next 2 double crochets. Okay, so I think I can send you on your way, and of course when you pop them out like that, they're going to look like so. And the reason we are doing our first section as a chain 5 and our last as not a chain 5, double crochet into our chain 2. The reason we're doing 5 double crochets into that first chain 2 and we're doing 5 double crochets into our last chain 2 from part number 3 is so that it slightly overlaps, okay, because that's the whole point. Busy making 3D crochet effects, so we have those sort of little overlaps and things like that. Alright, going to tuck the ends in there. Okay, so now you're just going to do what we did, but not as in such a confused manner as I did. Unless, of course, you're waiting for a parcel, in which case you're forgiven. We're in the same boat. So you're just going to carry on like that. Don't forget into your last chain 2s, you're working 5 double crochets and then fasten off. Okay, so I shall see you at that point over there. Okay, so now what I wanted to show you is, alright, we're just going to take these little tails and just move them out the way. And now our very first and our very last tail of this section of our indie round, so our last part, right, you're just going to work your hook under that first chain 1 where you worked your first popcorn. Okay, and that's where you're going to pull your yarn through. Okay, and that will ensure that it actually lies the way it's meant to lie. You can maybe see it a little bit more easily here. So you're just going to do that, right, pull it like that to the back. Okay, now you're just going to flip this over like so. Alright, and now what I did is, when I was working in part number 4 of the same color, right, so normally I would work the other colors in first, but I just wanted to show you, so I'm just going to move this down there. And what I did was, just to make sure that that does stay exactly how I want it to stay, right, you're going to tie these 2 ends together like that, right, so they kind of do disappear into the rest like that, and then you can work in your tail. Alright, so we're going to move that around like that. Right, just going to move these other tails out of the way, although I would do this section last, but I thought I'd show you now. So normally I would work those in first. Alright, so this tail is already down at the bottom, so, and this one we've worked under there. You're just going to pull that nice and tight, and just pull it tight like that. Make a knot or a double knot, and then you can work your ends in. Alright, so we're going to just leave those for a moment. I mean, I'll work my tails in later, but when you turn it around, you can see it kind of ensures that that little piece just ever so slightly goes over like that, right, which is what it is meant to do. And then that is how this little section is going to look. Okay, so I'm just going to slightly raise my blinds again, let in a bit more light, but there's still, whoopsie, a bit too much sunshine still. Okay, so now you can go and work your other sections exactly like this, and you can also work in all the tails. Alright, and then that is the end of our independent round. There is still another little section coming, but I'm going to do it sort of as a separate thing, because it's an optional bling that you can do. You don't have to do it. Okay, so I'll see you there, and I hope it all worked out fine. I'm going to go and have a huge, massive glass of water about the size of a swimming pool. and cool down a little bit, and then I shall be back anon. Okay, so we are onto our little optional round, or a bling round as I like to call them. It is an independent round again, so it's not attached to anything. We're working it into our big independent round. So now we're going to be working surface slip stitches, and the color that I'm using is the Elfin, so it's the same color that I used over here. So now, because we are working into a sort of a floating stitch, you know, it's not really attached to a stitch before it, we're going to do this a little differently. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little slip knot like that. You're just going to insert your hook into the slip knot, and you're going to work. Now keep your working yarn at the back, right, like that. So you're just going to grab up yarn and work a slip knot. Okay, so that's going to create that little surface stitch over your first chain 3s, which is equal to 1 double crochet, where we had got our 5 double crochets. Right, then you're going to work a surface slip stitch over the next 4 double crochets like that. Now we want to work under our 2 double crochet front posts, so you're just going to release and pull your loop to the back. Alright, and then you're going to release, grab your little loop and pull it to the front. You're just going to go under, so you're going to skip those 2 little double crochet front posts. Then 1, 2, 3 and 4 around your next 4 double crochets. Okay, then you're going to yarn over, and over that single crochet you're going to work the double crochet front post. So before you do that, so you're just keeping your tension up there, right? You don't want things to get too like loopy, right? So we just a bit tighter than I normally crochet, right? And just make sure you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, release your loop, pull it to the back. Don't lose it, so don't pull this tight and then lose your loop, because then you're going to lose your cool. Alright, and then pull your loop to the front again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, double crochet front post. So this was part number 3 from our big independent part, round 28. Right, oops, let's do that again. Right, so keep up your tension here so it doesn't get too loopy. Right, and continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull your little loop to the back, insert your hook, skip your 2 double crochet front posts, pull your little loop to the front. And continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, double crochet front post. Remember, you're only going into those like the front loops of that single crochet. double crochet front post, and continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope I've convinced you to do these little surface slip stitches. Alright, so it's not difficult, you just have to keep a very, soft wrist and be patient. And I should mention that I did get another message from a very, very, very irate lady in America who said, I've been crocheting for 25 years and your crochet is the most stressful crochet I've ever come across. Crochet is supposed to be relaxing. So it's not the first time. It's not the first time that I've been criticized because my crochet is very is not relaxing. But this is the kind of crochet that I do. I like it to be challenging. I like it to be it has to challenge me. It has to keep me interested. Otherwise I can't do it. So you know, my response is normally, well, I'm sorry you feel like that, but there are lots of lovely relaxing patterns on Ravelry, and please, you know, do help yourself to one of those. But if you want to be challenged, if you want to go on a little bit of a crochet journey, then please do join me. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that, and of course slow down this section if you're wondering exactly where I went, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, and once you get the hang of it, about working from the back to the front, because you know your yarn is at the back there and you're working these surface slip stitches, then you know, once it's clicked, it's so easy, and there's something very super duper relaxing about it, or at least I find that there is. Okay, so that is the end of round number 29, which is our indie optional bling round. Okay, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 30, which will be a regular round. Okay, so see you there. Also, when you know, it's just difficult to start, but when you get to the last bit here, of course, you'll just work a slip stitch over there and then fasten off and move your tail to the back, and of course that's much easier than the starting section. Okay, so see you in a moment.